And I get that, like, at some point you have to decide who wins and who loses. But does it take away from it at all that you had to win on PKs, not win on like I hate to use the word real goal, but real goal?
For us, no. I mean, I think winning a championship is winning a championship, but I think a lot of people think that PKs and they are a tough way to end a game, but it's gotta end somehow.
Did you kick one of the penalty kicks?
I didn't. No, I had just come out of the game.
Okay, so what's that like to be completely helpless and not get a chance?
Yeah, it's nerve-wracking, and I was over there just pacing around. It was tough to watch, but guys were confident and did great.
Have you, as a professional, done PKs?
I did one. Yeah, we went into one shootout in the Open Cup, and I took a PK in that.
Okay, and did you make it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, and so help me out with it's like a game of cat and mouse, right? Yeah. And it feels like it's impossible to miss, right? And so it feels like it's impossible unless the guy guesses right. But what's your, like, do you know where you're going, or do you react? Like, what's your game plan on PKs?
Mine is I know where I'm going, and I'm just don't change your mind. Like, hard run up to the ball and just put it where you want to put it. And no matter what the goalie does, then, it's 50-50 chance they guess the right way. Some people jog up to the ball and then wait to see where the goalie moves, and I don't feel like I am confident enough to do that. So.
Who essentially made the game winner for you?
Roman Torres, our big center back, made the game winner.
Okay, so what's that dude? Is he a decide like on the fly guy, or does he have a set game plan?
I think he was a decide on the fly. He was more of a decide on the fly guy. I think he saw the goalie move and just went the other way.
Yeah, now you can't fake, right? But you can kind of start and you can kind of change your tempo.
Yeah.
What's the actual rule to it?
Yeah, you can't take a step backwards.
All
so
right.
Once you're going up, you can't pause and you can't take a step backwards. So some guys do little stutters on their way up and things like that. But again, I'm not confident enough to do those.
All right, so they won, and you kind of had a part of it, but not. I'm kidding. Jordan Morris joining us on the Doug Gottlieb Show, CBS Sports Radio. Okay, I can't have a U.S. men's national team member without asking you, what was your reaction when Jurgen was relieved of his duties?
Yeah, it's tough to see a coach like that go, and for a player like me who Jurgen gave an opportunity to that I think a lot of coaches wouldn't. It's tough because I like playing for him, and my career and me as a person have so much to thank Jurgen for. So that was tough to see him go, but I think Bruce is going to come in and do a really good job.
Okay, so were you blindsided? Like, I mean, obviously the loss to Costa Rica, we're watching it, we're reading Twitter, and I'm not going to lie to you and sit here and say I'm a soccer guy, but soccer guy was freaking out. We're like, hey, it's very, very early on to be freaking out. Were you surprised at least that he was, or did you see it coming?
I mean, I don't know. I think a lot of the fans were frustrated with how things were going, and there were definitely rumors out there that it may or may not happen. But yeah, I think I was a little surprised, and like I said, it's always tough to see someone like that go. How
do they handle it with the U.S. men's national? Does somebody personally pick up the phone and call you and say, this is what's going down and this is the plan, or do you read it like the rest of us do?
So they didn't for me. I'm not, one of the big time U.S. national team players, but so they might have done something differently with them. But for me, I just found out on social media.
And has Bruce called you?
One of his assistant coaches have. And
do you know his name?
Sorry?
Do you know his name?
Yeah, Pat Noonan.
Oh, okay.
Pat Noonan. Yeah,
like, one of those, like, I don't know.
No, yeah, sorry.
I don't know.
Sorry, yeah.
One of those, oh, no, I'm not like, I mean, it's like we make fun of first base coach in Major League Baseball. Like, take the gloves, attaboy, pat in the back.
Yeah.
Hey, let's get a short lead here. Here we go. I mean, I didn't know if it was a guy or just a guy who called you. Like, hey, Bruce is going to call you the next couple of days.
No, yeah, Pat Noonan gave me a call and haven't talked to Bruce yet, but know him a little bit from playing against the Galaxy this year.
Okay, so what in your mind has to change, or what type of evolution has to happen in order for, first, you guys to make the World Cup, and then be really competitive, as this has been the goal. As 2018 has been ever since you go back 16 years ago, this was the World Cup that everybody thought you guys could be competitive in.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a tough question. For me, it's just getting kids into the game younger and the game growing in the United States. And I think you see it in the MLS. The MLS is growing. More international players are coming over here. There's more fans coming out to watch games, stuff like that. And kids are definitely taking a liking to the sport a lot younger. So
it's a great point. Like, we've gotten into this debate here, okay? You grew up in Seattle. What high school?
Mercer Island High School.
Okay, so you went to Mercer Island, which Quinn Snyder went there. That's a nice place to. That's a good place. A beautiful place to grow up. So hometown kid done right with the MLS, taking home the cup. But now, Mercer Island, is that the district that you grew up in? Like, did you grow up like all those guys that went to middle school with them, went to high school with them?
Yes.
Okay, but there are some high schools that get guys from out of the district, and they, whether they move there or change their address or whatever, right?
Right.
Isn't that kind of what we've done with Jurgen, which is get these guys, which like technically they may have American parents born in Germany or whatever, but they only come here to play for the national team because they couldn't make the German national team. Is there any feeling of that from your perspective?
No, I don't think so. I think Jurgen did a really good job of discovering talent in Germany and in places like that. So obviously the team, struggled a little bit, but I don't sense any of that kind of, that feeling within the group.